In a forgotten corner of the countryside, where the road narrowed to a path and the path eventually gave up and turned into plain earth, there sat a village so small it didn't appear on most maps. At its edge stood a mud house that seemed older than the soil it was built on. Its walls slouched inward, patched again and again with straw and clay that never quite agreed with each other. The roof sagged like an old back, and the chimney leaned sideways as though listening for gossip from the nearby trees. Inside lived Mirella, an old witch, though she never called herself that. The villagers used the word in hushed tones, half out of fear and half out of habit. They knew she had been there long before any of them were born. Some claimed she was older than their grandparents. Others whispered that she had no age at all, that she simply existed the way the forest did. Mirella kept to herself. She had no interest in persuading anyone she was harmless. She spent her mornings sitting on her lopsided stool, sipping a bitter tea made from roots she dug up with her own crooked hands. Her fingers were twisted from years of crushing herbs and grinding powders, but her movements were always precise. Her eyes, sharp, gray, and unblinking, missed absolutely nothing. Most days after her tea, she slipped into the forest behind her house. The villagers believed the forest belonged to her, and maybe it did in a quiet, unspoken way. Birds stopped singing when she passed, then resumed once she was gone, as if acknowledging her authority. She knew every bend of the river, every burrow under the roots, every plant that cured, every one that killed, and every one that did both if used wrong. Despite her isolation, she always knew what happened in the village. She noticed when harvests were weak, when someone's child developed a strange cough, when a family quarreled loudly enough for the wind to carry the words to her hill. Mirella pretended not to care, but she listened. One autumn evening, the first sign of trouble arrived quietly. A group of children ran past her hill coughing, tired after only a short sprint. Mirella watched them from her shadowed doorway. Their laughter sounded thin. Something was crawling through the village. She could sense it. By winter, the sickness had a firm grip. It began with coughs, then fevers, then exhaustion so deep, even the strongest men could barely stand. The village healer did what he could, but his supplies dwindled. His remedies no longer worked. The villagers avoided Mirella even then. Admitting they needed her felt dangerous, as if approaching her would make their fears real. But as more children fell ill, hesitation gave way to desperation. One